Europe is the easiest country to rage bait. That's been a meme going around because it'll get Europeans mad because they're like, Europe's not even a country, it's a continent. Which is obviously the whole point of the rage bait, but actually, it got me thinking. Can we talk about the fact that Europe isn't actually a continent for a second? Or rather, Europe is the reason that the word continent has such a loose definition. Because I would rightly attest that we would have a much more simple definition of the word continent if it wasn't for Europeans' inflated sense of self-importance, which is why continent gets defined politically more than geographically. But if we look at the globe, what we would find, and a simple definition for a continent would be a large landmass, large being something more than 1 million square miles, that is separated by either sea or thin peninsulas to differentiate between the landmasses. Now when we look, we could see a clear landmass that we have labeled as North America and then South America, and when we rotate the globe, we could see Africa. And these are land masses that are separated by either sea or very thin strips of land to meet that very simple definition. We can also go to Australia, which is 1 million or 3 million square miles, so meeting our 1 million mark. Obviously, any of these land masses that are less than 1 million square miles and isolated are called islands. So Australia would be a continent, but something like Greenland would be an island. And whether that's an island that belongs to North America or Europe is up for you to decide. Geographically, it would belong to North America, but politically, it would belong to Europe. Now, moving on from that, we have Antarctica, which is its own continent, and there's only one major landmass left that is not separated by sea or thin peninsula. And you can see in this section here, you have what we know as Europe, and then it keeps going. And you have India and Russia and China. And if I'm to look at this, this is all one continent. Now, what would we call this? Well, I would say the fair thing would be what dominates the landmass and the population, right? So what has the dominance in those areas? So it would make more sense to call this region Asia. And Europe is just a little offshoot from Asia. It's not that important geographically. It's the smallest part of that continent. It's not important. So it is actually geographically more correct to say that Europe is a country, even though it's a collection of countries, because it's certainly not in any geographical sense a continent. The only reason it gets that distinction is because Europeans think they're more important than they actually are. Thank you.